Deutschland, Deutschland, über alles, not with our housebots to contend with. The house robots featuring Matilda with her tusks and flywheel tail. Dead metal with the circular saw blade and pincers. Sergeant Basher's crushing claw and flamethrower. Shunt with his bulldozer scoop and diamond edge pickaxe. And Sir Killalot with the drill lance and the claws, the jaws of death. Kept in line by the Refbot, or are they? With our meanest new house robots yet, the Refbot's going to be pushed to the limit, introducing Mr. Psycho and his pet pooch Growler. If you thought our house robots were nasty before, you ain't seen nothing yet. We're starting things off in Group A. 6 robots in each group. 2 will progress to the final group. Junkyard Queen Golem and Ansgar's Revenge will compete in the second fight here tonight. But first we've got Son of Armageddon, Thorgrim and Tyke. I'm going to surprise everyone now. Thorgrim is a robot from Germany. You probably could have guessed that from all the flags, but sometimes it's worth stating these things. Tyke is a classic wedge design robot and has to be a favourite entering this round of the competition. Son of Armageddon is one of the most interesting looking robots we have here, with a sort of scrap metal design to it. But will that translate well into a good fighting ability? Well, that remains to be seen. Refbot taking a little look at the contenders here. Roboteers in the control pods, giving a little wave as we prepare to kick off Robot Wars, the German Struggles. Growler in the arena for this opening contest here tonight, and he's going to be joined by Matilda. A match made in heaven? Maybe not. Fight is underway now. Son of Armageddon moving in on Tyke there, showing Tyke off against the arena sidewall. Lifting arm comes up, turns in on Thorgrim now, who's not doing a great deal. Getting flipped there, Thorgrim's design, preventing it from going up and over. Slammed into the pit release button there by Son of Armageddon. Thorgrim doesn't look to be the most mobile of robots to me, it's got to be said. Growler clamping down on Tyke now. Crowd baying for robotic blood. Well, oil, I suppose. For me, Thorgrim has been dead from the get-go. No movement at all there that I can see. Tyke and Son of Armageddon still in this, but even so, Tyke, not especially the most mobile robot in the field, it has to be said. Son of Armageddon dominant here. Refbot now counting Thorgrim out of this one. Over before it started. Tyke being pushed towards the pit. Down they go! At the same exact moment that Thorgrim are counted out. Now that's going to be interesting, because 2 robots from this fight are going to have to go through. The judges are going to have to determine whether Thorgrim was counted out before Tyke went down the pit. Now for me, to be honest with you, Thorgrim never got going. So I think we can probably assume Tyke is safe down the pit. Look at the sparks and the chunks flying off of Thorgrim. the devastating flywheel tail of Matilda. She has no remorse in her robot soul. A little dance of death there. Son of Armageddon, no sympathy there. Oh, this is what happens when you bring a robot that doesn't work into our arena. All your national pride did nothing to help you. Son of Armageddon dominant. Clearly they go through. Thorgrim counted out, Tyke down the pit. These fans loving it. The judges making the decision now, recognizing the controversy there. But ultimately, clearly Son of Armageddon going through to the next round, joined by Tyke. Confirmation there that Thorgrim is out. Next, Junkyard Queen, Golem and Ansgar's Revenge get into it. Junkyard Queen could be a real scrapper of a robot, but I don't like those exposed tires. For my money, Ansgar's Revenge looked a little bit like an old VCR with a lifting arm attached. Perhaps not the most threatening design. Slightly more sinister is the spooky looking Golem with that nasty ramming spike on the front there. Not to mention that eerie grin. Speaking of grinning, the Roboteers looking happy to be here, but for how long when their robots start getting bashed and broken and smashed and trashed? I'll tell you someone who never smiles, and that's Growler. Got the teeth for the job, though. And Matilda, once again back in the arena. I think she's forgotten what it means to smile. Poor dear. Refbot lights the green light, and this match is underway. Golem, nippy there. Straight into Junkyard Queen. Ansgar's Revenge, an interesting design. That lifting arm. Also acts as a remake, a self-righting mechanism. I'm not certain what its offensive capabilities are, though. Golem whizzing around the arena with some force. That ramming spike, their primary weapon, so they need to use that speed. Clearly the fastest robot in the arena right now. Not including our Growler, of course. Ansgar's Revenge with a little Viking helmet there. Not sure that's going to provide any extra defensive capabilities. Junkyard Queen doesn't seem to be moving, just sort of sat on the Disc of Doom there, which is spinning away wildly. Perhaps they're stuck. Refbot comes in to free them as he is allowed to do so. I'm guessing Junkyard Queen was caught on one of the spikes on the Disc of Doom, one of the teeth that tear away at the underneath of any robot who's unlucky enough to be trapped on it. Looks to me like Ansgar's Revenge is looking at a count out here. Junkyard Queen getting in on the Golem as Growler activates the pit. Because I think it's about time to say farewell to Ansgar's Revenge. Ooh, the eerie smile of Golem. That's going to haunt your nightmares. Junkyard Queen now bringing a little bit more aggression to the fight. No desires to go down that pit there by the Queen. Stuck once again on the Disc of Doom. Golem's lost a wheel. I didn't even spot that. No wonder they had such obviously reduced movement towards the end there. Well, either way, it's pretty obvious that Ansgar's revenge is going to get eliminated from this bout. They did absolutely nothing in that fight. Confirmation just coming through now then from the judges that Ansgar's revenge has indeed been eliminated. Probably the easiest judges' decision they've ever had to make. I get the feeling Refbot's countdown timer probably wasn't working. Otherwise Ansgar's revenge would have been counted out long before now. As we move into the next round then, Junkyard Queen, Golem, Son of Armageddon and Tyke advance on to the next stage of Group A of the competition. And here's how those fights are going to line up. Tyke and Golem are going to face one another momentarily, but first, Junkyard Queen is going to face Son of Armageddon. The Son of Armageddon got here, of course, by being the only robot to really dominate in its heat, taking out Thorgrim and Tyke. Junkyard Queen scraping by, really. For my money, Golem did the lion's share of the work in that fight. Well, nevertheless, let's see if round 2 can show us a little bit more of Junkyard Queen's full potential. Son of Armageddon, impressive in its fight. Will it be able to ramp that up to the next stage here in round 2? Fans in attendance certainly hoping so. And if not, well, there's always the house robots to bring their own inimitable brand of action. I wouldn't look too happy about being stuck in the arena with the house robots. Maybe they're not aware of the danger that lies in waiting for them in the form of Matilda's terrifying tusks and fearsome flywheel, and Sir Killalot's crushing claw and lovely lance? I couldn't think of a word. Well, anyway, the action now underway in the second round of Group A. Son of Armageddon going in with that lifting arm there against the Junkyard Queen, who's now on fire over the flame jet. Probably not the smartest place to stand your robot. They're going to want to move away from that. Son of Armageddon flipping Junkyard Queen on its side. Stuck against the arena angle grinders there. Son of Armageddon are going to want to leave them there if they have any sense. It may not be spectacular, but currently that is the position that's going to lead Son of Armageddon to victory. But I guess they want to go in for a few extra hits. Well, that's their prerogative. Junkyard Queen certainly not getting out of that one. They aren't wedged against the arena wall, thus Refbot does not have to move them. A count out is incoming, however. Son of Armageddon moving away now sensibly. Refbot finishes his count. That was a very quick victory for Son of Armageddon. Impressive once again. It's got to be said that lifting arms, I quite often feel like they're underpowered at the side of flippers. Think of the likes of Chaos 2 or Wheelie Big Cheese, for instance. A lifting arm doesn't always seem that strong of a weapon, but it's working to Son of Armageddon's advantage here tonight very well. It's going to see them go through to the final stages of this competition. Sir Killalot, meanwhile, going to see to it that Junkyard Queen goes nowhere, but into a world of hurt. A little bit of house robot tag teaming there with Killalot feeding Junkyard Queen to Matilda's tail. Ew. Can't even wrap my head around the logistics of that. Into the drop zone goes Junkyard Queen. What's in the mystery box? We're about to find out. Whatever's in there is going to drop right onto the Queen. These fans love it. It's, oh, a load of machine parts by the looks of it. I'll leave a nasty scratch in your robot. Clattering down, thudding off the hull of Junkyard Queen. Kill and Matilda playing with their food now. Machine parts littering the arena. Kill going for the pit release button. Junkyard Queen descending into the pit of oblivion. The Queen is dead! Long live Son of Armageddon. They go through to the final stage of the competition. Still one place in the final stage up for grabs here in Group A. It's going to be between Tyke and Golem to determine who's going to get it. Golem, quite impressive I thought in their opening round contest. Very nippy around the arena. Making good use of their robot's design. They did sustain damage though. Tyke, less impressive it has to be said. They were pushed and pulled all over the place. Golem entering first, surely the favourites to win this one. The wheel now reattached. Tyke are going to have to put in a lot more of an impressive performance than they did in the opening round, that's for sure. The Roboteers looking on now. Give us a wave, lads. Here's someone with a interesting wave of his own. Mr. Psycho with that huge claw. And Shunt, well, he doesn't even have any hands. Maybe he'll just wave with his pickaxe. Activate is called. Golem straight in on the offensive there. Shunt there to stop him. Poor control from Golem. Strong aggression, but you've got to temper that with good driving. Driving is one of the most important skills for any Roboteer to master. Flailing yourself all around the arena is not going to cut it. You have to have a targeted offense. Tyke, though, it's got to be said, once again, not really doing very much here. A little bit of a slight pushing contest. Golem getting free there. Suddenly Golem's bursts of speed seem to have petered out. I wonder if they've blown their motors. They're certainly not doing any moving right now, and the ref bot agrees. Well, what a turn-up. Golem, clearly the stronger robot at the start of the fight, counted out now. There's definitely a little wisp of smoke coming from inside Golem. I think they've burned their motors out. Mr. Psycho drops the hammer. You can still see that little puff of smoke emanating there. The pit has been opened, but first Golem is going to fly. Courtesy of the arena floor flipper. Shunt very delicately positioning Golem on the right spot there. Hey, up and over. Oh, look at all those flips. That was very impressive. Almost the entire length of the arena. Let's have a look at this again. That was great. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, 3.5, 4 maybe rotations. Yeah, why not? Why not? Well, they're not going to win any medals for their roboteering this evening, but maybe their acrobatic contests will be a different matter. Who's to say? Mr. Psycho tossing them around the arena like they're nothing. Well, at least they're having fun. That's what we like here on Robot Wars. We like when the Roboteers have a good sense of humour about it. Oh no, they're really giving Golem a full tour of the arena, aren't they? The drop zone, once again active. What's going to come out of the mystery box this time? It's a load of balls! Maybe that's a commentary on this match beyond what I'm able to provide. Who knows? There's bowling balls there. Obviously more devastating than the ping pong balls. Well, the only thing left now is for them to be dumped unceremoniously down the pit of oblivion, and I'm sure Mr. Psycho will be all too happy to oblige. Tyke goes through to the final stage of the competition. The house robots seem happy about that. Here in Group B then, 2 more 3-way melees to open things up. Delldog, Not Perfect and Hydrotec will be clashing momentarily, but first Tsunami, Black Hole and Absolut Krankhaft go at it. Tsunami, another great wedge-shaped robot, and as we saw as they entered the arena there, their speed is going to be one of their key strengths, as well as their lovely flipper. Then again, as we saw just now, Absolut Krankhaft also have a nice little burst of speed. Oh, and a lovely little flipper. And finally, Black Hole, another wedge shape. No flipper this time. 2 vertically mounted spinners. Will they have a burst of speed? Well, that remains to be seen. Roboteers giving a little wave to the fans here in attendance. All smiles now, but I don't think they'll be smiling when they see who's in the arena with them. That being Sergeant Bash with the flamethrower. To say nothing of Sir Killlot's rotating lance and the jaws of death. Activate is called. Straight away, Absolut Krankhaft and Tsunami showing off their speed. Delldog getting just into the right position to stop Absolut Krankhaft getting away there. Tsunami flipping them up and over, and the position of Absolut Krankhaft's flipper means that I don't think they're going to be able to self-right. It doesn't look like it opens far enough, or with enough power. Tsunami writing things for them. Will that be a costly mistake? Remains to be seen. Absolut Krankhaft heading in the direction of the pit release button, and nudges it. Pit descending now. Tsunami very nearly skidding down there. Gets another flip off though, and I think this time, if they have any sense, they'll leave Absolut Krankhaft upside down and out of action. I would hope, anyway. Black Hole coming in for a look there with those vertical spinners, doing a little bit of damage to the rear side of Absolut Krankhaft. Getting out of trouble though now. I think they've realised Tsunami's earlier mistake was getting Absolut Krankhaft back into the competition. Better to let Refbot count them out. Count them out is indeed what Refbot is about to do. There's no coming back from that, let's be honest. Black Hole impressive here, but ultimately Tsunami doing the lion's share of the work. Those two will go through to the next round of the competition. House robots now going to have their little bit of fun. Sir Killlot very gently, very gingerly picking up Absolut Krankhaft. He can be gentle when he wants to be, Sir Killlot. He just doesn't usually want to be, that's all. So he's going to very gently place them on the arena floor flipper. Absolut Krankhaft about to get an absolute shock. And an absolutely sent flying the air on that. Very impressive. Lovely aerodynamic robot. Probably wasn't designed to be aerodynamic, but you know, you might as well put on a good show while you're defeated, hadn't you? Oh, look at it roll and flip all over the place. Fantastic. Killlot now going to unceremoniously dump them down the pit and out of the competition. Tsunami and Black Hole through to the next round of the competition. Tsunami obviously happy with that, doing a little victory spin there. Confirmation then. Absolute Krankhaft eliminated. Up next, Delldog, Hydrotec, and Not Perfect. Well, Hydrotec is a very interesting designed robot with a hammer and lifter. Dual weapons, but does that mean that one or the other isn't as strong as they could be? Delldog kind of looks a little bit like a biscuit tin on wheels, you know, the sort that you'd find sewing equipment in at your nan's house. Then again, that didn't have a weapon attached to it, in my experience. Well, they may not be perfect, but Not Perfect looks to be an impressive contender in this bout with their excellent traction. Is hoping to gain some traction themselves and advancing the competition. Wait a second. We're having a little trouble here with Delldog. The team alerting Derek Foxwell, Senior Technical Consultant, that they have a problem with their machine. Derek applying a few last-minute repairs there. For robots of this kind of design, it is very important that they are safe to perform in our arena. Especially with spinning weapons. The safety of the fans watching is tantamount at all times. Delldog now will be allowed to compete. But how will that affect their weaponry? I'll tell you who doesn't care. Sir Killalot with the rotating lance. And Matilda, she's not bothered about anyone suffering, unless she gets to inflict it, that is. The final opening round bout, now underway. Not Perfect, straight into the pit release button. They have their strategy. Hydrotec trying to avoid that. Delldog has their weaponry being compromised by those last-minute technical repairs. If that's what's needed to keep their robots safe for competition... Well, never mind, I guess it wasn't important. Not Perfect and Hydrotec still going after one another. But Delldog, they're assuredly out of the competition now. Oh well, I guess it wasn't meant to be. Well, they don't seem too upset by it. Not Perfect and Hydrotec still doing their best to give these fans a little bit of entertainment. There's no real need now, though. They are both safely through to the next round of the competition. The smart thing will be to lay off with one another. Then again, whoever said that roboteers were smart? They're all crazy. My experience anyway. Alrighty then, Not Perfect and Hydrotec move through to the second round to join Tsunami and Black Hole, and here is how they're going to line up in the round 2. Tsunami will take on Not Perfect, but first Black Hole is going to face off against Hydrotec. Now, I don't think we've seen the full potential of Black Hole just yet. They were a very controlled robot in their first fight. They knew exactly where to be, what position to be in. They knew when to pull back as well. That's the sign of an intelligent roboteer. But we really need to see some more aggression and damage from them. Hydrotec, well, they seemed like they were a good, strong robot. They certainly got the elimination over Delldog, but we didn't see enough in that fight to really get a feel for them. But now with a place. in the final stages of the competition, up for grabs. Both of these robots are going to have to reach their full potential if they are to advance. Black Hole looking ready for action there. A sudden calm falls over the arena. Both teams ready for competition. No technical issues this time. Mr. Psycho joining them in the arena. No technical issues there. Mental issues maybe. He's a bit unhinged. But then again, you know, Shunt will be there to help him calm down. Right? Maybe not. Refbot begins this fight. Both robots now dodging and diving, ducking and weaving, both trying to get around the right side of one another to avoid one another's weapons, but also to land hits with their own. Looks to me like Hydrotec's lifting arm is stuck open now. Black Hole is definitely going to take advantage of that. The hammer's come down on the opposite side of Hydrotec. I'm not sure what kind of damage that's going to inflict. It looks a little on the small side, like a little toffee hammer, if you ask me. Black Hole relentless, already causing damage to the lifting arm there, buckling it slightly at the front. Those two vertical spinners looking to cause some real damage here. This is very tentative, very strategic battle. Both robots know which sides of their opponents are the best to attack. Unfortunately, generally means getting involved with one another's weapons, and they don't want that. But I think Black Hole may have pounded on Hydrotec just enough that they've lost drive. The weapon's still active, but that's not going to win them this fight if they can't get it under Black Hole. Refbot recognises that, I think, coming in for a closer look, considering the count out now. And yes, starting the count out clock now. Refbot going to put this fight to bed. Black Hole very impressive in this bat. Hydrotec put up an incredible fight, no question. Nothing to be ashamed of here. Ultimately, Black Hole that little bit more tenacious. And that's what's won them this fight. Mr. Psycho now coming in with a hammer to drop it down from above. From the right position, of course. He's very particular about where he hits with that hammer. Oh, there we go. That's no toffee hammer. Goes in for another swing of that mighty bludgeoning weapon. Shunt to push Hydrotec onto the arena floor flipper, send them for a ride, and over they go. What a weighty robot, didn't get much in the way of air there. But then again, it's Robot Wars, not Air Wars. Shunt opening the pit now. About to send Hydrotec to their final resting place, down the pit of oblivion. Goodbye. Oh, Hydrotec falling to pieces as they went down. Black Hole into the final stages of the competition. Shunt down the pit now! Clumsy Shunt. You're supposed to be the reliable one. A bit too much of a burst of speed there at the end there from Shunt. Poor driving, poor control. Good thing Shunt doesn't have to go through a judge's decision. Black Hole through. And now the final place in the final stages is up for grabs between Tsunami and Not Perfect. Only one of them can go forward. One going home. Now these Roboteers work tirelessly in the pit. It's a hard, hard life being a Roboteer. A lot of work goes into these machines. It's devastating when Oh, when things like this happen to them. But never mind that. We're here to talk about Tsunami with its devastating flipper. Arguably one of the strongest robots we've seen in the entire competition. The precision and speed of this robot makes it one to watch out for. Not perfect may not be perfect, but they've got good strength and good strategy. And that could be their ticket to victory, at least in this match. Tsunami now racing into the arena. A full head of steam on their robot. Not perfect, a little slower. I wouldn't call them sluggish though. This one for that final space in the final stages of the competition. The pressure now really beginning to mount on these teams of Roboteers. Dead Metal going to add a little bit of pressure. And what could be more pressing than the claw and hammer that we call Mr. Psycho. Alrighty, here we go. This one for that last spot in the final stages. Tsunami with that lovely flip there to start things off. Not perfect, up and over. Went for the full frontal charge. Tsunami saying no thank you. And again, another lovely little flip there onto Not Perfect. Something's come off of Not Perfect. Looks like a little front part that went under the ramp there at the front. Tsunami not going to be slowed by that. They will continue to take advantage and push the lead. Not Perfect can run both ways up, but what state will its weaponry be in? Is it functional both ways up? Certainly it's looking a little bit more wobbly while it's upside down, it's got to be said. Tires gripping at the arena floor. Not sure what that's going to do to aid them getting away from Tsunami and their might in this match. Tsunami, for me, have to be the hot favourite to win the entire competition now. They've dominated everyone with their speed, their skill, and that deadly flipper. Not perfect yet. Not quite counted out yet, though. I'll give him that. Tsunami not going to wait for a count out, though. Dropping the pit. Not Perfect looking very poorly at this point. Running out of steam. Praised their strategy earlier. Ultimately getting in the Robot Wars arena with a robot as powerful as Tsunami is always going to be a poor strategy for anyone. Look at the flip once again. Dead Metal now. Ramming in. Almost throws him down the pit there. Caught between a rock and a hard place between Dead Metal and Mr. Psycho is Not Perfect, for whom this fight is certainly not going perfectly. Losing control here. Tsunami now picking up the pieces, lifting them up. Not Perfect doing everything they can to get away. I think they know that unless something drastic happens, they've lost this match. A flip from Tsunami, whose flipper is losing power there. Now we know, of course, CO2 powered flippers, they lose strength as the fights go on. They only have a limited supply of CO2, they only have a limited number of flips. Coming off the flame pit there. Well, this one's going to go to the judges, but for me, Tsunami has dominated this one. Our panel of judges, Martin Smith, Matt Irvine, and head judge Professor Noel Sharkey, will be grading this fight on style, control, damage, and aggression. For me, Tsunami pretty much wins out on all four categories. Bits broken off of Not Perfect. Tsunami, clearly the more aggressive robot. As Not Perfect were forced to play defensive. I think this is a very clear-cut victory for Tsunami here, ladies and gentlemen. And the result has come through from the judges. And the judges agree Tsunami the clear victor in that one. Our 4 finalists then. Son of Armageddon, with its impressive lifting arm and solid control. Black Hole with those vertical spinners and its solid strategy. Tyke, which has unfortunately gotten this far largely based on luck. And Tsunami, clearly the favourite to win at this stage. Fast and with a devastating weapon. This is the one to beat. So, here's how the semi-finals look. Son of Armageddon and Black Hole are about to kick things off. Coming up shortly, Tsunami and Tyke. Son of Armageddon making their entrance here. Ready to advance to the championship bout, but so too are Black Hole. They look ready to win, hungry for victory, hungry for robotic flesh, which they plan to eat away at with their vertical spinner weapons. Things now getting serious for these roboteers, but they do try and put a brave face on and smile ever so nicely for our fans. Aren't they kind? Sir Killlot, he's not kind. He's not bothered about the fans. He's just bothered about pain, and so too's Dead Metal. That's a sore point. Alrighty, here we go. Entering the final stage now. Semi-final number 1. Son of Armageddon and Black Hole. Black Hole nicking at the backside of Son of Armageddon there with those vertical spinning blades. Another tentative fight. Black Hole, we know they are excellent strategists. We know that they are on the lookout for the best places to strike at their foes. Managing it ably here, I have to say. We know that Son of Armageddon are no slouch when it comes to robot combat. Have they met their match at last? That lifting arm looking a little tired, perhaps, against Black Hole's spinners. Too slow to flip them there. Black Hole dodging the attack as parts start to come loose from Son of Armageddon. Littering the arena now with bits of robot smashed off by Black Hole. Supremely aggressive robot here. Son of Armageddon looking limp and lifeless. Black Hole think they've won. To be honest, I'd be hard pushed to argue. Slams their opponent into the pit release button and down it goes. Only a matter of time before someone goes down that hole. So Killlot for a little closer look there. Fed into Dead Metal's pincers there. Son of Armageddon, thanks to Black Hole. Time and again, the strategy of Black Hole has been excellent in these fights. At least the Son of Armageddon team see the funny side of being slashed away at by Dead Metal. Goodness knows I wouldn't be smiling and laughing if that was my face being eaten away at by the circular saw blade. Look at the sparks fly. Dead Metal almost bored of them now. A little ram there from Black Hole, who have truly dominated this one. Their place in the Grand Championship Final now a guarantee, I think. It's going to go to the judges, but surely a formality. Black Hole did all the work in this one. They tore bits off of their opponent. They weren't flipped once. Son of Armageddon outmatched and outpaced in this one by Black Hole. For me, I know we like a bit of controversy here on Robot Wars, but it would be beyond controversy if Son of Armageddon were given the victory here. And the judges have made their decision based on style, control, damage, and aggression. They've gone for Black Hole. Who's going to join them in the championship match? Will it be Tsunami with the speed and the flipper? Or will it be Tyke, who have really struggled in this competition? For me, I think Tyke's luck may be about to come to an end against the mighty Tsunami machine. Sir Killalot doesn't believe in luck, he only believes in inflicting pain. And Growler doesn't believe in much of anything, really. Dogs are simpler creatures, aren't they? This one for that all-important place opposite Black Hole in the championship match now. Tsunami quickly getting a flip off here. Tyke have effectively gotten this far through the bad luck of their opponents. I'm taking nothing away from the machine, but I really don't think we've seen a great deal from Tyke this entire competition. However, they're up against Tsunami, who's dominated every opponent they've come against. I really do think Tyke's run of good luck has hit a brick wall here. Tsunami are not going to relent. They want the German championship. Tossing Tyke round and around, up and down. Tyke, a lamb to the slaughter in this one. A little bit of the strength going out of Tsunami's flipper at this point. But Tyke yet to land a single blow on Tsunami. Whoa, hold on a second here. CO2 venting wildly from Tsunami. This is an interesting one, ladies and gentlemen. I have no idea what set that off. But if they lose their CO2, they lose their flipper. Looks like things are under control again now. Not a clue what happened there. Killalot coming in. Killalot should not have done that. That was an illegal move. Tsunami backing off. I think they're seeing sense to know that they've won this fight, and to keep it going will be to risk damage to their robot. Killalot perhaps giving them a friendly nudge there, saying, oi, leave it to us now, yeah? Refbot counting Tyke out. Well, I think we knew this was going to happen. Tsunami through to the championship match, where they will face off against Black Hole to see who's going to become the first ever German Robot Wars champion. Growler now going to place Tyke in a little bit of danger. Well, we do love danger here on Robot Wars. The arena floor flipper about to send Tyke up into the air. So the most motion we've seen out of Tyke in the entire fight. Growler now activating the pit. About to give Tyke their final resting place. One gentle nudge ought to do it. There we go. Good dog. We can have a treat for that, Growler. The husk of a defeated robot, perhaps. Tsunami through to the finals, as we rather suspected would be the case. Tyke, out of here. But before we get to the final, we have a couple of extra matches for you. First off, we have a couple of losers taking out their aggression on one another. Junkyard Queen and Not Perfect. Not Perfect, hatched up from their earlier contest. Junkyard Queen rolling into the arena with those big exposed tyres of theirs. This one, more of an exhibition match than anything. No pride, no glory in this one. It's all about the entertainment. These Roboteers love it. So does Sergeant Bash. I mean, look at that little light show for the fans there. And Mr. Psycho with his displays of strength. It's like a little robot circus. No clowns in this one, though. Not Perfect immediately on the offensive. Junkyard Queen looking a little slow and sluggish there. Not Perfect, I think, determined to prove that on any other day they could have been a top contender in this competition. Well, they made it far. They did do well. Robot stuck here on the flame pit. Mr. Psycho coming in. Refbot trying to separate them. Mr. Psycho saying, "Oh, I'll do that for you, Refbot." Lifting both robots up now. The incredible strength of Mr. Psycho. Go for a little spin now. Whoa! Goodness me, he's up and over. Mr. Psycho's toppled himself. Toppled by his own hubris. That's what you get for showing off, Mr. Psycho. You won't do that again in a hurry, will you? Refbot showing him the red card for getting involved when he shouldn't have. Sergeant Bash with a lick of flame, almost torching Mr. Psycho while we're at it. Not Perfect, almost incredulous that this is happening. Refbot. Wait, Golem? In the drop zone? I guess we do have a clown after all. The scary clown face on Golem. Refbot, what are you doing? Refbot, you're not supposed to get involved in the fight. I guess after watching all this robot combat, Refbot wants to get involved himself. Has his programming gone haywire? Golem crashing down on Junkyard Queen. I've never known a robot be suspended from the drop zone. This is insane! This is one of the wildest, craziest fights I've ever seen in Robot Wars. Unbelievable! Well, I don't know what to say. Not Perfect win. Via insanity. Refbot doing a lap of victory. These circuits have been scrambled. Up next, the clash for third place between Son of Armageddon and Tyke. Son of Armageddon did very well to advance this far in the competition with the lifting arm, a weapon that some people would say is outdated by modern Robot Wars standards. In the end, it was the might of Black Hole that took them out at this late stage. Tyke, meanwhile, coasted by on luck. Tsunami showing them that that's no way to win a German championship. This clash over third place is about to get underway. Son of Armageddon with something to prove in this fight, I feel. Tyke probably should have something to prove. If they can win a fight by knockout, that would kind of justify it a little bit. Tilda in the arena for the house robots here. She can justify anything she likes. So too can Sergeant Bash with his flamethrower and his claw grip. This one for 3rd and 4th place. Obviously nobody tries to win 4th place, given the choice. Alright, we are off, ladies and gentlemen. Tyke and Son of Armageddon. Son of Armageddon immediately flipping Tyke. Tyke pushing back, showing aggression that would have been much needed in the earlier rounds of competition. Sort of sprint away there to separate. Son of Armageddon giving them no room for a breather. Straight in. Once again, Son of Armageddon, solid aggression from them. Sergeant Bash, that lick of flames there. Tyke nudging at the pit release button there. I think they've realised that's probably going to be their only hope of victory in this one, if they can get Son of Armageddon down the pit. But now they're beached against the arena side wall. There is no coming back from this one for Tyke. Well, their campaign never really got going. 4th place. Really very impressive for a robot that didn't really achieve a great deal. But Refbot freeing them from the side now. That's controversial if you ask me. Refbot is allowed to do that, though, if a robot is beached against the sidewall. Tyke down the pit, though. Son of Armageddon, leaving no question that they deserve 3rd place. Worthy winners in this fight, I feel. Bad luck to Tyke. Next time, bring a robot that works, lads. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the Grand Championship final of German Robot Wars between Black Hole and Tsunami. Two very impressive robots. They have really led the field here tonight. Black Hole's vertical spinners causing all kinds of damage to their opponents. Their solid strategy has also been key to their victories. Tsunami, meanwhile, their strategy has been pretty single-minded. Get in under an opponent, flip them, then do it again. And again. And again. Either one of these would make excellent winners, but only one of them can be the German Robot Wars champion. Tsunami once again skidding into the arena. Black Hole similarly nippy off the mark there. These two love entertaining, but they also love winning. That's what they're both looking to do here. Nerves now perhaps starting to rattle the Roboteers as they vie to become the first ever champion of Germany. Mr. Psycho in the arena for this final climactic clash here tonight, and he'll be joined by the horrible heat of Sergeant Bash's flamethrower. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are underway with the final fight here in Robot Wars, the German struggles. This to crown the first ever German Robot Wars champion. The winner of this will join elites such as Chaos 2, Razor, Panic Attack, Roadblock, Slicer, all great national champions of Robot Wars. It's been a night of tough competition for these two. They're both determined to go home with victory under their belt, though. I know it would mean a lot to both of these teams. Really trying to feel one another out, get that perfect angle. Oh! Amazing slam there by Tsunami, sending Black Hole flying. These two have clearly been the most impressive robots all night. They deserve this space here in the arena all to themselves. course, they've got to contend with the house robots as well. Both of them wedged together now on the arena pit of oblivion. Mr. Psycho coming in to free them. He wants to see this fight reach its conclusion, and so too do the rest of us. Tsunami weighing up their options, looking at the pit release button, and it is indeed pressed. Well, they won't get trapped on it now, but if they go over it at this point, they are out. At this last stage of battle, either one of these mighty machines would be a worthy champion. They both deserve victory here tonight, in my opinion, but only one of them can take it. Tussle back and forth as they jostle and jockey for position. Black hole underneath. Tsunami. Oh my goodness, the side panel coming off there. Black hole's vertical spinner tearing that side panel. Don't forget, as a fight goes on, Tsunami's flipper weakens. No such problem with Black Hole's vertical spinning blades. Look at that. Oh, bits of Tsunami flying all over the arena now. This one an incredibly evenly matched fight. Chunks of Tsunami littering the floor. This one, ladies and gentlemen, currently too close to call for me. And unfortunately, it's going to have to go to the judges. Only one team can leave here as the first ever German champions of Robot Wars. This is going to be a very tricky decision for the judges to agree on, if indeed they can agree. But it's their job and they have to do it, so let's see what they decide. Let's have a look at some of the highlights while they're umming and ahhing, shall we? In the early going, Tsunami controlled the fight, no question. Lots of really great flips. Perfectly timed with great precision underneath Black Hole. Had they maintained that throughout the fight, this one would be a lot more clear-cut, in my opinion. But as the fight went on, the flipper weakened. But the spinning blades of Black Hole assuredly did not. Tons of physical damage caused by Black Hole, closing any gap that may have been made in the opening minutes of the match. This one is sincerely too tough for me to call, ladies and gentlemen, and frankly I'm glad that I don't have to. The judges, however, do, and they've decided based on style, control, damage and aggression, the winners of the Robot Wars German Championship are Black Hole! A well-deserved victory for a brilliant team of robots. How did they do it? Don't ask me. It's all double Deutsch to me.